Today is the last day for the Kia, filling up with gas because we're heading down to Irvine to Mazda's top secret design facility. We've been invited down by the Chief Designer DEREK Jenkins to get some inside scoops and see some cool stuff that Mazda's up to and see their garage and a few other things. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'll take you guys along. Today we are at the top secret design facility for Mazda. It's actually not top secret, based in Irvine, but the design studio is top secret. We're gonna go in and we're gonna see some cool stuff. Come on. It says don't touch, but we're gonna be touching today. This is for Kathy. She's the one holding the camera. Howdy. Hi. Jacob. Yep. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Good. Fireball, nice to meet you. Thanks for having us.
Most definitely.
Cool. And this one I get for the day, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I wish.
We thought you were in traffic. Like us, because you came from the same place.
Yeah. Good to see you.
So we're going to see some cool stuff at Mazda today. You're going to show us some top secret stuff that we're not allowed to show anybody.
Yeah, sure.
And then we're going to see some stuff that we can show. So,
okay.
Right. Okay.
We'll see.
All right. So tell me what we're going to do.
Well, first I was going to invite you in, and we're going to have a little chat just about general things, MX-5, and what we've been doing in Mazda design, and then I can show you the basement of the place, which has a lot of cool historic vehicles and past projects that also are historic. So there's a lot to see.
Is there any concept cars around?
We have some older concept cars.
We can see
take a look at. Absolutely.
Right. That's going to be awesome. All right, let's do it.
Yep.
Okay. What happens in this room? What is this?
So this room we use for a whole multitude of things. You know, we'll do vehicle reviews in here. We'll do internal discussions like planning, whether it be a design planning or bigger overall company planning with future product or events. Design philosophy is, especially in its current form, is encapsulated by the idea of creating a very clear movement to the cars. So we want the cars to have a certain dynamic quality. We want them to look like they're really progressing forward dynamically, but at the same time, we're trying to give the cars a character that's a balance between something that's kind of more alluring and almost sexy, and at the same time has a kind of predator quality, something that gives a little bit of that aggressive quality, getting that balance. You know, we don't want it to be hyper aggressive, and we don't want the car to be too feminine. So we're trying to really strike that balance with the current Mazda design philosophy. Well, I think it really depends on what brand you're talking about. You know, when you talk about longevity in car design, you know, a good example is like Porsche, for example. Because they're so evolutionary in their designs, they tend to last really, really well because they're not changing them dramatically. They're evolving and trimming and widening and lowering, but the basic form language stays the same. So there's great longevity there. Other consumer kind of products need to kind of go from trend to trend to trend to keep them relevant and keep them attractive, and I think that's just the nature of maybe a particular brand or a particular vehicle segment.
Say hi to your kids.
Hi guys.
This is your dad. I didn't notice this so much.
Yeah,
this here.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That was internally kind of a big discussion.
I was talking to another designer that we won't mention because we're with you.
Yeah, and we all know each other,
cool, yes.
So you don't want to tell me who it is.
But it's interesting because a lot of design trends sometimes can happen by mistake when you're sketching and suddenly you whip something out and go like,
oh wait, I didn't. Or you look at it backwards, and it suddenly sets you on a completely different direction.
Definitely.
You know, an inspired idea.
Yeah.
And suddenly you go in a direction that you didn't anticipate, and it evolves into something completely fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, even you know, we work in a kind of team dynamic, so we'll make of a certain project, we'll make multiple models, right?
Yeah.
And we try and set up, okay, this is kind of the evolutionary one, this one's a little more progressive, this one's more edgy, this one's more sexy, and then maybe this is the wild card,
Yeah.
which is usually like, everybody's gonna like, oh, I don't know, but that one will surprise you
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
because that'll come back around
Yeah.
and end up influencing everything.
It's amazing, it's sort of like a spaceship.
Well, you know, I think it's not necessarily about state-of-the-art technology or touchpads or tablets. To me, this car is about really, the kids have been growing up playing games. They've been growing up in that virtual cockpit and experiencing that. This car is the closest they're probably going to get to that gaming kind of experience in a car that's actually accessible. I'm not talking about a Porsche 918, but a car that they could potentially access. And you've even seen that trend with young people going out and buying the first generation MX-5 because it's such an accessible car from a price standpoint, and they get to have that kind of like race car, track car, roadster experience, you know? So to me, it's inherent in the design and the concept of this vehicle.
Mazda history. I've never seen one of these.
It's a beautiful car.
It really is.
This car.
Have you guys considered flavored paints?
Flavored paints, no.
Because I would be into that. I would pay a premium.
For like
For sherbet.
watermelon?
Sherbet. This is sherbet.
I'm not sure how sanitary that would be.
This one is actually in our lunch edition colors, which is sport tan with the Asol red exterior, and there are only going to be 1,000 of these built in 2016.
This is so much different than the previous model.
It is.
Ergonomic.
The whole seating position feels different. You feel much more
Just the fit and
embedded
finish.
down in the car, you know.
Yeah.
How the fit and finish dramatic evolution for us.
Whoever designed this did a really good job.
Well, we'll let them know.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things that rarely do you sit in a car that ergonomically feels like an extension of you.
Yeah.
You know, and this really has that feel.
You know, I always felt that about the first generation car. Like whenever I sat in that car, I felt like embedded in the
Yeah.
car. And to some extent the later generations, but not as much. So we really worked on kind of getting you down in the car, getting this feeling of being a little bit more enveloped by the car. And then the view out of the car is really important. Kind of your sight down here, the symmetry of everything. I think that being able to see on the fenders on
Yeah.
both sides, kind of apex point. The prior generation cars didn't have that. They weren't contoured like
Yeah,
this in
it's
the
really
front.
sexy.
It makes
Yeah.
a huge difference from the driver's point of view. But
Wouldn't that be cool though to do a SEMA car and then give everybody a Sharpie?
we actually talked about that as one of our
because
concepts.
this would be great.
Oh, it's like a
texture.
chalkboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I loved cars, right? And I think most car designers, that's the first thing. You know, your passion for cars, and I think it's your passion for creativity too, and understanding that, learning about that. If you want that bad enough, you're going to make it happen. You know, and the car industry's changing. It's always evolving, but I mean, it's changed dramatically from when I got in it till now. So I think, you know, it's something you just have to really, really, really want. It's not an easy business to break into, but you know, for me, I guess if I really look back at what I was hoping to achieve and where I wanted to be, I think I've gotten there and some. So I'm thrilled with my career path. You know, it's not always exactly how you think it's going to be, but for the most part, it's a pretty good gig. You know, can't complain.
And I get this car now, right?
Yeah, sure, it's all yours.
Right on, brother.
I love it.
That was a really cool tour of Mazda. We saw a lot of really cool stuff. We actually saw some stuff that we're not allowed to really show. But you saw a lot of cool stuff. I think it's time to eat. We had a great time down in Irvine, and now we're in Venice, and we're going to get some pizza that's going to blow your mind. Most amazing pizzas ever. Incredible. Got one more piece coming.